them destroy everything you've built. Everything we've built.
Yeah, I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies.
You out there boxing. I need you to start fighting.
Oh man, this is the movie I've wanted to see the most this year. Let's talk about it, guys. Creed 3. So Creed 3 is Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. This is the first movie he's ever directed. This is all him. And I have to be honest, this is the best Creed movie I've ever seen. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. This was a different kind of boxing movie. It was so much more personal and emotional. So much more dark and downhearted, with Adonis facing demons from his past, growing up in the group home, being beat on and abused as a kid, and his childhood friend turned rival Damian Anderson returning, played by Jonathan Majors, who, by the way, is easily the best antagonist in this series, hands down. When it comes to all the rivals and antagonists we've seen in this franchise, none of them really have many layers. These aren't really people you feel sorry for, and some of them aren't even likable. Drago and his son got layers and a compelling character arc when they returned in Creed 2, but I think Damian was the best. He was cold, he was calculating. We knew based on the trailer he was bad, but in the movie you see how he puts on two different faces and plays people, namely Adonis, even sometimes letting his real jealous self slip out a little at times. I thought he was really impressive. This is a guy who had everything going for him, but by protecting his friend Adonis, it cost him everything he had going for him. You can understand why this dude is so angry and even empathize with him. I love seeing the chemistry between all these characters. There's so many ways to film a boxing movie, and this being the 9th chapter in the Rocky franchise, it's amazing how Michael B. Jordan still managed to keep things fresh and entertaining. This is the first sports movie to be shot in IMAX, and it was really amazing on screen. The fights were really some of the best in the entirety of the series. I did feel like the final fight was kind of short. I felt like it was a bit rushed. I felt like the third act was kind of rushed. It was great, it was fantastic, but it could have gone on longer as far as I'm concerned. But that's really the only gripe I have with this. This is the first Creed movie without Rocky, and that's really worth mentioning, because as good as this movie was, and it was good, you can still feel the absence of Rocky. It feels like there's a void in it without him in it. Honestly, I think Rocky should have been in this one the most because of how the story was. There's a sad scene in particular when Adonis is like literally at his lowest point in the film, and it's a scene where it's like this would have been perfect to have Rocky come in and sort of lift him up. I just really feel like out of Creed 1, 2, and 3, if Rocky was going to be in any of them, this is the one he should have been in the most. But at the same time, I'm kind of conflicted on it, because on the one hand, it doesn't make sense to have a Creed story without Rocky. I mean, Rocky is this franchise, and I liked his relationship with Adonis, being a mentor, but also being kind of a father figure. On the other hand, however, Creed 2 gave Rocky a fantastic character arc that acted as him passing the torch and the franchise over to Adonis. So I kind of go back and forth with it. It was good, but I did feel Rocky's absence with it. But Rocky's absence does not make this movie bad at all. It was very, very good. And there are a lot of homages and tribute to Rocky 3 in particular. This movie did really feel like Rocky 3, especially with Adonis training with Drago. I thought it was cool that they became friends after Creed 2. Even did something similar, like how in Rocky 3, at the end of that movie, we saw Apollo and Rocky had a third fight with each other just to see who really was the better fighter. And it's actually one of my favorite moments in the franchise. Drago and Creed did the same thing, and I like that a lot. It just shows how both characters characters have really grown. And I think Adonis needed that fight with Drago again to take on someone like Damian, which really makes sense. I mean, I think if you could take on Victor Drago, I mean, look, dude is practically Bane. Like, if you can take on him and even beat him, everybody else, it shouldn't be that hard. But yeah, Michael B. Jordan did his thing as the director and the actor. Based on the trailer for this movie, I knew I would like it, but I honestly didn't expect to like it as much as I did. And as someone who picks up on cinematography, I think one of the big things that's sorely lacking in movies up to date is a real use of lighting. Lighting that paints the picture. But the colors really popped in this movie. Literally every scene stands out visually. You can see the anime influence, the brotherhood aspect. It's overall, like I said, very good. Creed 3 gets a solid 9 out of 10 for me. I think that it's safe to say that this franchise is secure in the hands of Michael B. Jordan. And honestly, I'm so relieved. I'm really happy. Because I love this franchise. This franchise is amazing. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. It's motivating, it's heartfelt, at times it's heartbreaking even. But I love how each movie uses the formula of grit and determination. And the Creed trilogy part of it is all about legacy. A huge theme throughout the Creed trilogy is that of making a name for yourself. In Creed 1, Adonis is afraid of being compared to his father. He didn't even go by the Creed name. In Creed 2, we saw how he was afraid of not living up to the expectations and the legacy of Apollo. He eventually embraces the name, honoring both the Johnson title and Apollo Creed's legacy. But by the end of this film, Creed 3, he's even moved past honoring the Johnson name. And he even puts the Creed name on the back of his shorts. In the final fight, we see him wearing a new pair of shorts, all white with the name Adonis on them. Adonis has spent so much time working out his own issues without Apollo in his life, but after becoming a father himself, he's decided that making something of his own without Apollo or Rocky is his new priority. Which is exactly what Rocky's advice to him was back in Creed 2 about having a better life. And I think that's what Creed 3, the movie, symbolizes most. I'm talking about on screen and behind the scenes. Making something of his own. This is Michael B. Jordan's movie. This is his own thing. This is Adonis' story. This is his own thing without Rocky or Apollo. So much emotion, so much tension, so much character growth. Guys, again, Creed 3 was amazing. I'm so glad I liked it. And it's so cool to grow up with these kinds of boxing movies. This must be what it felt like all the way back in the 70s with people who were growing up with Rocky. It's truly awesome. It's truly awesome. This was my review, guys. I was so excited to make it. Like I said, most anticipated movie. Out of all the movies coming out this year, this is the one I've wanted to see the most. And I was happy to see it. Glad I saw it. Michael B. Jordan did his thing, y'all. Creed 3. Creed 3. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you thought of this movie, what you think of the Rocky franchise overall. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.